Hi, this is Jim Pikarski. I teach meditation and give Dharma talks at Blue Lotus Meditation Center here in Venice, Florida. Today I would like to talk about what is it that you want? This is a very important question. I'm sharing this with you because it was one of the most important questions that I have asked myself. Um, at one point in my life, I was with a spiritual teacher who I was engaging with, and they kept asking me this question over and over and over again. I suppose he could see that I was somewhat adrift, and he knew that it was important for me to answer this question. In Buddhism, part of the Eightfold Path is right intention, but you have to know what you intend and be honest with yourself to really move forward. The reason this was so important to me is that I grew up with a lot of shoulds. What should I do? My parents said, do the right thing. I grew up Catholic. Catholics said, do the right thing. Hardly anybody ever asked me when I was a child, what do you really want, Jim? And because nobody asked me, I didn't know how to ask myself. Um, Most of our desires come from our ego, but others come from our true nature. And if we can dig down and to find out what we truly want, typically this will come from our true nature. And that's a totally different thing. So, one thing about responding from our true nature is the ego likes to fit in. And because it likes to fit in, it likes to look at what other people think is the right thing to do. And it takes some courage to just follow your own integrity. Two things can usurp our integrity. One is this conformity to what's accepted, and the other is just our conditioned mind, all the habits and stuff in our conditioned mind, which will dictate our desires to us, just out of habit. The ego's desires are grasping, clinging, attachment. There's a sense of lack in them, like we don't have something that we need. Um, the desires of our true nature feel very different. They're much deeper. Um, they don't feel like lack or acting out of fear or anger. They feel like purpose, aspiration, and joy. We enjoy following our true nature. Um, so ask yourself this question: what is it I really want? Each of us, if we go deeply enough, will be drawn to what is best for us in our lives. What you really want is a type of destiny. It's a type of destiny because it's what you should be doing on this earth. Some people have a very narrow destiny, some people have a very broad destiny. But whatever it is, it will satisfy you and it will nurture you. Sometimes people have a hard time accessing their true nature. So sometimes people are not used to doing that, are not used to slowing down and finding out what they truly want on the deepest level. So if they're not used to doing this, a lot of times they'll just follow their ego's desires. And when you follow your ego's desires, that's fine too. It's fine because uh, obviously you have something to learn there. You have to learn the superficiality of it, or it's painful, or whatever it may be. But sometimes people are good at noticing what their true nature wants, but in some areas they're blind. And that's all they'll come up with is what their ego wants. And if that's true, a lot of times you have to follow that too, unless you can inquire into it. If you can inquire into it and find the truth, then a lot of times you don't have to go through it. An example of this would be getting involved with the wrong person. You may have ego reasons to do that. They're rich, or they're beautiful, or they're handsome, or whatever it may be. However, what does your true nature say? What is it you really want? There's a still small voice inside of us. Knowing what we want is one way to be true to this voice. If you're reading this, then you may or may not want to be enlightened in your lifetime. But even if you're not, there's something in you that's pulling you to understand life on a deeper level. When we know what we want, we also become very open to opportunities to move in that direction. We're capable of avoiding dead ends in our lives. Because when we know what we want, we get sensitized. Will this bring us closer to what we want? So you may, if you want to be a millionaire, you'll notice opportunities to do that. And you'll notice other things that are dead ends. The same with moving toward enlightenment. You'll be drawn towards those things that will open you up. And you will become uninterested in things that are dead ends and take you off the path. It also opens you up to deeper realizations, this question. So the question is, why would you not want ultimate freedom? Why would you not want realization or enlightenment? By asking yourself the question and really looking at the question of what you want in this area, you can see what stops you. A couple things to stop you is doubt. A lot of people they don't believe it exists, or they feel they want to succeed. So doubts can come up. Another thing is fear. I'm afraid what will happen to me, or I won't be like anyone else. I'll no longer conform to what's acceptable. So fears like that can come up. Another thing that can come up is attachment. I fear that I'll lose something that I'm very attached to. Well, these fears are all, and doubts and attachments are all based on delusion. They really have nothing to do with true enlightenment or realization. You don't really lose anything that's real in the process. You only lose what is unreal. It's interesting, once you define what you want deep spiritual realization, then these blocks tend to come to the surface. You're able to see them better, because it's almost like, before it was kind of hidden in mystery because you were not looking at it very closely. But once you say to yourself, this is what I want deep realization, as soon as you say that, a fear or a doubt can come to the surface immediately. Knowing what we want can give us courage. We realize that we have no more excuses. We have to step forth clearly on our path. It's kind of like you're in a situation where you have to put yourself in danger to save someone. You just know you want to do it, and it gives you courage. And even though in normal situations there would be a lot of fear thinking about that, you're not even thinking, you're just doing. You're just doing what you need to do in that situation. So if you want to be free, you really have to come from the deepest desires inside of you. These desires are in line with your true nature. They're in line with wisdom. And they're in line with what you need to do personally for your particular situation, and what you need to do to learn valuable lessons in life and to move forward. So ask yourself the question, what is it that I truly want? And ask yourself that question over and over and over again. Make it part and parcel of how you see the world. So the question becomes almost automatic for you. You don't have to ask it after a while, because you're so used to asking it to yourself. You just automatically go there, and you automatically go that deep. And if you automatically go that deep, you will find you will be attracted to things that are very beneficial to your life. And you will avoid things that are not helpful or painful. So I hope that it helps you as much as it helped me. I know some of you already know what you want, so it may not be that helpful to you because you have that already. But others may find this very helpful. Thank you.